for you. We chat football, eh. We chat football, eh. Liverpool we day, Premier League we day.
All right, big up everybody, big up everybody. I need to get this thing. All right, sorry for bottling that. Just dealing with this new software, and it's a killer if you ask the least. It is an absolute killer. Big up everybody who's gonna join. Big up everybody who has joined already. Big up everybody who soon joined it. Yes. Trying to get this going for the longest while, but due to some technical difficulties, was not able to get it going. So you know how that goes. Yeah, so you know we just have to roll with what we have to roll with and go we have to go with. Yeah. Due to daddy duties, then the likes of RJ couldn't join the stream today. Due to that, then we push the stream back to as far as the stream is back right now. And yeah, we're just gonna kick it, talk about some of the games coming up this weekend. You know that's kind of the fun thing that we're at this weekend is Liverpool in the mud and all the fun stuff. So yeah, so we've just got to touch on that this weekend. It's gonna be a long night worth of streaming, because I want to do some Atletico gaming as well. So after this, then I'm gonna touch into that. Then it keeps going, then we keep going, then we keep going. Yes, so one of the things that we really wanna take a look at is the game this weekend. That's the biggest thing. It's a game this weekend. Let me not just go around going all crazy, all that kind of stuff. Let me just focus on what there is to focus on this weekend. So starting off the weekend, it's Brentford versus Burnley. Yes, we're looking at what they call like I don't know if that's like a mid-table clash. If you consider that something to be like a mid-table type of clash or anything like that, but yeah, it would be a mid-table clash. Burnley is climbing out of the relegation zone. They're in the relegation zone. Sorry, I've been kind of off of football recently due to the fact that Liverpool is playing like absolutely crap, and Jamaica missing out on the World Cup, so been kind of off the football spectrum for a bit. So yeah, let's catch up. Yeah, Brentford versus Burnley. Burnley's trying to escape the relegation zone. They're trying to stay up this season, even though I have them to be one of the first teams to go down. They're still trying to fight and stay afloat and stay in the league and push on. So yeah, they're trying to do that. So kudos to Burnley, who's trying to stay in the league. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it anyways, but yeah, they're trying to. That game, I see a Brentford win, but again, if Burnley is able to cause an upset on that, I wouldn't be shocked. So I wouldn't be shocked for a Burnley upset as well. Yeah, but we never know. We never know when these games kick off. We never know when these games come around. Who's going to win, who's going to lose, who's going to come out on the other end looking like a true genius of these managers. But yeah, the Premier League is shaping up to be a very interesting season. It looks like a few teams have swapped personalities this season. But yeah, I'm expected to see the likes of Brentford kick on. They've been having a great season, an amazing season, I would say. Brentford is having an amazing season, so I would expect them to kick on this season and continue going, pushing forward and doing what they have been doing well, which is actually winning games. They have been, and they have been doing that really well this season, so I expect them to kick on and continue down that path of winning games. So yeah, yeah. So I expect a very, very good win from Brentford. But if I wake up and I see that that's not the case, then I wouldn't be shocked. I honestly would not be shocked if that's not the case and say Burnley win, because the Premier League has been a really tight one this season. The other one is Manchester City versus Leeds. That's the Haaland derby. If you know, you know. Well, yeah, that would be the Haaland derby. The Manchester City versus Leeds. City win. So we're expecting a City win. I think everybody is expecting a City win, including myself. So that should be a easy win for City going into that one. And yeah, that should be pretty straightforward, I would say. It's pretty straightforward. They just show up, take some points, and call it a day, and just keep the ball rolling. You know, that's what I expected. I expect maybe Haaland to hit a hat trick, keep his golden boot run going. That's kind of what I expected. It's City is on like 22 points. They're 7 off Arsenal, and yeah, so I expect City to close the gap on Arsenal this weekend. That's what I expected. Will that happen? That's another story. But what is expected and what will happen is two different things, right? We all know that. So yeah, so I expect City to win. Leeds is playing good. Leeds is gonna survive, as I said before the start of the season. They're gonna survive, but this is one of the games that going into the season, I don't think Leeds would have this marked on their calendar as, okay, this is going to be a must-win game. This is going to be the game that we're going to lay a marker down. But if Leeds get a result out of this, it will be a massive result for Leeds. Massive, massive, massive result if they're able to grab something out of this one. But we never know. We never know. The next game coming up from the weekend is Sunderland versus Bournemouth, and again, that's another massive one. Again, that is another massive one because we know Sunderland, as we all know too, they're trying to stay clear away from that relegation battle. So and they're in 7th at the moment, 19 points, same amount as Bournemouth. So that's another mid-table clash where I don't think a lot of people have either team this high up in the season to where they started their season. But we all know what happens when teams put like a good run together, then they can get a good distance between themselves and the relegation zone, and that's pretty much all you can ask for. I mean, from one of these promoted teams is to be able to be so far away from the relegation zone that you can't get caught up in that relegation battle at the end. So yeah, it's a good look for Sunderland, good look for Bournemouth today. So it's going to be a massive mid-table clash. Again, I'm just speeding through some of these games because some of these games I don't think a lot of people care about. But on the channel, we always talk about these games. Normally, it would be me and Riddick, and we kind of break them down a little bit and make more of it of what it is, but it is what it is. Then we have the Everton versus Newcastle. Now, this is a very, very interesting one. Very interesting one because Everton, again, fresh after beating Manchester United, they're trying to push further up in the table. Newcastle need to start getting their season turned around. Again, they can't afford to miss out on Europe this season. So they need to get that form turning around. They also need to be able to push on and start picking up points, start picking up wins, try to qualify back for that Champions League spot again. However, it's one of those where it's looking really, really, really bad for Newcastle this season. Another team again who I think is underperforming, but they're going under the radar. I think they're going a lot under the radar this season about how badly they're performing. right? And that's just the other thing. It's for a team that needs to qualify for Europe, for a team that Champions League mean the world. It is not, and I'm going to say this, it is not a good look for Newcastle right now. Newcastle should be a lot better, a lot better than what they are right now for Newcastle. But again, it's just one of those that they have to figure out. Where are they going from now, from here. They have to figure that out. They haven't figured that out as yet, and I think that might be to their detriment right at this moment, for not figuring out, where they're heading. And that's just where I put it. It's where they're actually heading right now, that they have to figure out, but they haven't figured that one out yet. They might figure that one out soon, and then before you know it, Newcastle is on a roll again. Newcastle is kicking off again, and yeah. But until they figure that out, I think it's going to be a tough one. I think they need to turn the season around. Everton, on the other hand, they're trying to pick up the pace. They're trying to push on. David Moyes have a point to prove. He's trying to push on. He's trying to get back Everton back up to the top of the league, and then see if he can even push on for Europe, which would be massive for Everton at any point of the season if they're able to get into Europe, after being sitting in the bottom half of the league for years, for them to be able to turn it around, push, and get closer to Europe. Yes, and they're on a good run right now. They're undefeated in 3. We expect to see a lot, and they're playing at home, so we expect to see a lot from Everton this weekend, and that could be a really tough one for Newcastle. And the last game on Sunday is a London derby. It's Spurs versus Fulham. We would expect a Spurs win, but again, it's a London derby, and we all know how these London derbies get. They're a bit unpredictable. If you want to know, London derbies can be really, really unpredictable. So we could see something like completely different coming out of this one. And Spurs could what do you say? What do I say now? Spurs could actually turn it around, and Spurs could get a win. They could. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if I see Fulham coming out of that one with a win. I would not be surprised if Fulham popped up and Fulham is just dominating play, dominating possession, and coming out of there with a win. So yeah, that's the last game on Saturday, which is that game. The other game, oh yeah, and Fulham is above relegation zone right now, which is 3 points above the relegation zone. Oh, Leeds is in the relegation zone. I didn't even realize Leeds was in the relegation zone. That only goes to show how long I haven't paid attention to like the table. Because I'm thinking Leeds is safe, Leeds is good. Leeds are in the relegation zone. Wow, I did not expect that. But again, for Fulham, they're just above it. They need to stay away from it. So, and again, if one manager can do it, it's Marco Silva. Let's be honest. Marco Silva could actually get them away from that, and easy Marco Silva could get them away from that relegation zone. Tottenham is sitting in 9th, 18 points, like just a few points off, 3 points actually off 4th spot. And again, it's really tight in the middle of the pack right now. Lots of teams are on 18 points and 19 points in the middle of the pack, so it's really, really tight there. So we'll see. Let's see if Spurs can continue, turn their form around, get some winning run going, or Fulham could actually do back-to-back win this weekend and start moving up the table. Because again, for both of them, it's a match that's really needed. Now the other one is, if you want to relieve the rumors, the future Manchester United manager versus the current Manchester United manager, which is what do you call it, Glasner versus Amorim. The Palace is playing Manchester United. That's for one that's going to be a really good game. However, I could see Palace steamrolling Manchester United. I could literally see that happening. That Palace show up, just do a full-on steamroll Manchester United. Before you know it, the fans started rioting again in Manchester, and yeah, because they're a bit all over the place right now, the Manchester United fans. So they're on a buzz. They're above Liverpool, so they're on a buzz right now. But that can change really quickly depending on results. And if results doesn't go their way, then yeah. But yeah, they're sitting pretty. They're sitting 10th in the league, and Crystal Palace is sitting 5th. And win at Palace could really push them up into what we consider closer to a title race, which they have been going great this season. They're extremely great, to be fair. Crystal Palace, they have pushed on. So yeah, we see how that result works out on Sunday. That's going to be an early kickoff Sunday morning, and then we have Villa versus Wolves. Villa, who started off the season so poorly, sitting in 4th right at this moment, and Wolves looks like they are in a. If you're talking about a team in a free fall, look no further than Wolves. In an absolute free fall. Like you couldn't make it up. But then again, what should we expect from a team that keeps selling their best players every single season? Every single season, as soon as a player pops up, scores a few goals for them, it's through the door, straight for profit. I think they wanted to get relegated, because that's the only reason I can justify the way that they're playing, is that they want to get relegated. But yeah, it's one of those where Wolves is free fall. So I am expecting nothing else but 3 points from what do you name in this game, from Villa, which would push them again further up the league, and maybe qualifying for Champions League again, which is massive again for Villa, because they needed that qualification last season to secure some more talent, which they weren't able to get due to the fact that they missed out on Champions League. But it's a really good look for them right now to say that they're pushing on. On the other hand, on the other note, we're looking at the game that not there yet. Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. This one is an interesting one. Forest beat yes. Brighton looking good. That's a game I'm going to touch on. Forest beat Liverpool over the weekend. Not just beat, but trash them to get out of the relegation zone. But Brighton is looking like Brighton of old. They're starting to kick on. They're starting to push up the table. They're starting to fight again for that spot. And yeah, that's it. That's Brighton though. They're looking good again. Baleba hasn't looked as great as he did a couple seasons ago, but again, I think that it's just a start. I think he'll kick on. I do think that Baleba will kick on this season. And when that happens, it's gonna be crazy. Because yeah, I do think that Baleba will kick on this season. He will have a massive role to play going forward this season. And I do think Brighton is one of those team Brighton that the manager looks like he lost it at the start of the season. I had a few questions around him, and they just go about their business slowly. Before you know it, Brighton is in sixth. That's how quickly the table changes, especially when you are not too focused on the other teams around you. Like you just focus on like your team. For example, like for Liverpool right now, I'm just so invested in Liverpool right now because things aren't going as smoothly as I expected to go. So then, yeah. Yeah, some of the players that sent on loan baffled me. Yeah, that's the other thing too. A few players that you guys sent out was a little bit tricky, but you know what? It is one of them. But they know what they're doing. Again, the thing with Brighton, and I know Donald is a Brighton supporter. Like he's been with the channel from the get go. But the other thing though that kind of surprised me is the fact that when you really look at how Brighton is kind of work, they try to recoup a lot of money in. So they're a selling club. They know they're a selling club. There's a few players that they're trying to move on, and I think some players that they expected big clubs to come in for this season that they didn't come in for them. So therefore they put them out on loan to put them in the shopping window. And I think that's kind of like coming from the higher up. It's not much so on the manager, because I think the manager would want to keep a lot of those players as well. But due to the fact that the hierarchies are asking for them to be like what do you call it? To get more money for them. So that's why I think that's the case. The only decent striker is well, but because they sent out Ferguson on loan, and also Pedro. Yeah, the Ferguson one kind of shocked me, to be fair, because I'm like, okay then, if you're gonna send Ferguson out on loan, because I understand that he went through a bad injury and that kind of stuff, but just to have like Welbeck as the only striker is, yeah, it's really puzzling, but for right now it's paying off. I think does Ferguson, I know Ferguson's at Roma, but do they have like an obligation to buy, or is it just a loan? Because if it's just a loan with no obligation, then that I think that would be a good move for Ferguson. Just away from the club, just get some training going and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's a good move. I mean, I think after this season, Welbeck is gonna be either a big part player, or they're looking to let Ferguson full on lead the line. And I don't think Ferguson was fully ready to just sit on the bench. I think he wanted to play. So the best thing that for both Ferguson and Brighton is for him to go out on loan. Matt O'Reilly and Evan Ferguson are your favorite players, yeah. But a couple seasons ago, like before Ferguson got his mad injury, there's so many big clubs looking at him, like so many big clubs. And the way like you guys operate is that as soon as a player hit a certain level where you can capitalize on him, you let him go. I think for example, O'Reilly, and I think there's a few players in your squad that they expected to move over the summer and they didn't leave. So therefore it's just easier to just send these guys out on loan so they can get some playing time to get them back. Because again, as I said, it's fascinating how you guys run your club. When the owner runs a club, they fully understand where they are. They fully understand that they're like a feeder club. But if they're going to be a feeder club. You got to spend big bucks to get the players, and I respect that, completely respect that, because they find the gems, nurture the gems, put the gems through, and then once they move on, that's it. So yeah, but I do respect the way like Brighton run it. The rally low and help Gomez get to his best. Yeah, I get it, and truly when I say I do get it, it's tough sometimes when you see like your favorite players leaving the club and going out on loan and stuff. But I think for the stability of the club, that they're doing the right thing is that some of your players might need to step away from the club because they might not be getting a lot of game time, to be fair. And if they're not getting a lot of game time, then it could be just one of those. Um, we don't. Yeah, yeah, that's the next game I'm gonna touch on is the Liverpool game right now. To be fair, this is where I come in with this. I don't think we need centre backs because we're short. Left back, um, we needed left back. We needed left back over the summer. We bought one of the best left backs in the Premier League last season, and the manager is completely using him wrong. Um, he's playing inverted. Both our left back and right back are inverted, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I know, but then Simicas is on loan at Roma, but he's supposed to be coming back as well. So I don't think we need a left back. We do need centre backs. I know we need Guehi, and we bought this young Italian kid that picked up a season-ending injury, so that's kind of tough on him. But yeah, it's a manager. It's 100% the manager that's at fault for this. Like the game is so bad where we have Salah and Gakpo playing as touchline wingers. They're sitting out there holding the width of the field, completely holding width, while we have the left backs getting closer and the right backs getting closer to the goal. It's baffling right now what's happening, and I just can't understand where um, the manager is his head is at. Yeah, Gomez and Chiesa definitely should be starting games. 100% should be starting games. However, for some reason, the manager just have a lot of favorites. And when I say a lot of favorites, I mean a lot of favorites. The thing that pissed me off a lot against when we played the Forest game is that he had Curtis Jones playing right back when he had Gomez on the bench that can play right back. We also have other players in the squad that is in the under 21s that can play right back that you could just bring in and play right back. It's just one of those. Like for me personally, he just has to go. They should just think about sacking him right now and get rid. Good riddance. I don't know. I don't even know who we should get in. Maybe just give Stevie till the end of the season. So, yeah, just give Gerrard till the end of the season. If we don't have a manager lined up right now, or we can't get a manager out of his contract before the end of the season. That's the other problem. He has come on, but he comes on when we are chasing a game and the manager takes off Konate again, because that's what he always does. As soon as we go a couple goals behind, he takes off Konate and then leave Van Dijk to play with either Robertson, so as two defenders on the field. He has Gravenberg drop back and kind of help out defensively, and then he takes off the right back, and then he puts on three left wingers, and he puts on two strikers, and he puts on no right winger. He won't put on a right winger because Salah is there, so he won't put on a right winger. and he throw on everybody that he thinks is attacking, and then try to figure out a goal. So yeah, that's the season. So Rio has played. The problem is you can't see him because he threw on Rio with 2 minutes left to go. Like, so it would be like 90 minutes is gone. We will be playing 90 plus 5. Rio would come on in the 93rd minute of the game to score a goal. But yeah, the manager has to go. Completely has to go. Like, I just think he's one of the worst managers we have so far, just off this season. It makes the dark days look bright, to be fair. And a lot of the supporters now have seen us through the dark days, and yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. The mismanagement of players. There is no reason why Endo can't play because Gravenberch doesn't look good, or you're going up on a game, you play the likes of Endo and Grav in midfield. There is no reason why Salah doesn't get benched. There is no reason why Gakpo doesn't pass the ball to Kirkes when Kirkes overlaps, which is Kirkes' best feature as a player, and stuff. Man, if Brendan Rodgers shows up at Liverpool again, I tell you the truth, man. I just stop watching. I just stop watching the Prem until he's gone. To be fair, but nah, Gerrard is better than Rodgers, like 100 times better than Rodgers. But anyways, the Bournemouth manager here, I do not feel a Bournemouth manager. Again, he's good at Bournemouth, and I will give him all the praise. But as we can see, if you don't have the charisma, the characteristics, the know-how of how to deal with big egos in the dressing room, then what happened to Arnie will happen to anyone. No, that was a myth. If you go back and look at the stats in that season, we scored close to 100 goals and we conceded close to 60 goals that season. Yeah, we were just outscoring teams. We never defended properly. The fact of the matter is that the worst part about that slip, that Gerrard slip, is, and I can just go back over that because I remember it almost like it was yesterday. We went into that Chelsea game not needing to win. A draw in that game would have been enough to get us to win us the league. Just a draw. If we had went out and draw the game against Chelsea, that would have given us enough. No, I don't want De Zerbi either. I do not want any manager that has not won anything. And that's a problem. I don't want any manager that doesn't win anything. That's why for me De Zerbi wouldn't be a choice. Good manager, but I don't think he's the level to take Liverpool to where I believe Liverpool needs to be with the money that was spent. But back to that Gerrard stuff, we didn't need to win that game, and when we went into that game, that goal that Gerrard slipped came from a Liverpool corner where Iago Aspas passed the ball, instead of squaring the ball into the box, passed the ball from the corner to a Chelsea player for a breakaway. That was comical. Southgate or Ten Hag, any one of them, I am boycotting Liverpool. I would just take down everything from that I have supporting of Liverpool if any one of them shows up as a Liverpool manager, without a doubt. Yeah, it would be end of days for me, like completely end of days for me if that's the case. Yeah, so that's it. West Ham, I am confident that we beat West Ham. If I can't be confident on beating West Ham as how I was confident that we would beat Nottingham Forest, then what's the point? I am confident we will go in and we'll beat West Ham. But if we lose to West Ham, if we show up and West Ham steamroll us, like completely steamroll us, the manager should not leave out, should not go on the bus with the players. It's in London already. Just book him a plane ticket right back to Holland and just go to his house and then pack his stuff in a box and ship it. Do ground shipping. So therefore it takes forever to get to him. That's it. And not just him, his whole coaching staff as well. If we don't beat West Ham. And that's just it. Because if we lose to West Ham, no joke, if we lose to West Ham, this is gonna be our 7th loss of the season. You know how long I have to go back for Liverpool to have lost 7 games in a season, and would have lost 7 games in a season with 13 games played. That's a madness it would be. I don't think we should take Slot back. I think we can take Bosch, his name is. That plays a similar high press football. The problem is that we have a lot of runners in the team, and Arne plays the game slow. Last season he slowed it down, but it was a lot still similar to how Jurgen played. This season he came out and he's trying to play his style of football. However, the problem is not you playing your style. And again, I know you might, depending on where you listen to, you might hear a lot of people talking about his style of play, all that kind of stuff. My thing is just this. We look horrible defending. We look horrible going forward. We just look like a horrible team. We keep conceding the same goals over and over. And if the players on the field is not working for the manager, who is gonna get them? Who's gonna get them going? Why don't you get players on the field that will work for you? And that's the problem I have with this whole situation with Arne, is the fact that he's losing out. He's losing the players. Literally losing the dressing room. But he ain't doing nothing about it. Like, absolutely nothing about it. He ain't changing anything. He ain't giving any other players a chance. He keeps throwing on the same players like a couple of minutes ago and expect the players to do something crazy for him. Yeah, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. And I have one more game to touch on. It's the Arsenal-Chelsea game, which is going to be the final game of the season. And then I have a few more things to talk about. I mean, if Donald is still here, I want to talk about that Celtic appointment and why did you choose the worst coach in the MLS to appoint. But we'll talk about that maybe if you join the other stream. Any other stream I see you pop up on, we're going to be talking about that Celtic appointment. So if you're still here, drop a message and let me know if you want to, when we're going to talk about that appointment for Celtic. But before that, let's talk about the other London derby that's going to be happening. Is Chelsea versus Arsenal. Arsenal is going at Stamford Bridge. And listen, even though I want to see Arsenal lose, I think they will. I do think Arsenal will lose this game. I don't think Arsenal is going to be able to go to Stamford Bridge and win. So I do think Arsenal will actually lose the game at Stamford Bridge, which is perfect because I do not want them to win the league. I don't want them to win the league, and it's just pretty much hating on Arsenal from here going forward. That's pretty much it. It's just hating on Arsenal from here going forward, and hopefully, then that will stop them from winning the league. But yeah, it could be a draw. It could literally be a draw. But and I can also see Arsenal trying to use set piece to stink up and just try to win on set piece and defend for the whole game. Um, me too. Me too. But I still would rather City win the league. I know it's gonna come back and bite Liverpool fans in the future, but we could be like we're the only team that take a league off of them or twice. So it will bite, but I would rather Pep win the league again. Yeah, I would rather if it's down to Chelsea and Arsenal, then it's Chelsea. Even though I kind of hate Chelsea more, but that's when I was younger and we had the rivalry with Chelsea, the Mourinho and the Benitez and even the Gerrard slip and all that kind of stuff. The rivalry was there, but no, I think Arsenal fan is a bit yeah, yeah. It's Arsenal fans are a little bit too much now, and with so much social media, I think it's getting too far. So that's it. The week 13 is on us. What do you say? Is it maybe it's lucky number 13 or it's unlucky number 13? We'll see. But Arsenal could extend the league at the points at the top. City could close the gap. Chelsea could move in within 3 points of Arsenal if they win, and that would make the race interesting. And if Liverpool lose, we're in a relegation battle, and that's about it. It's going from league champions to relegation battle. Could be crazy. Weekend is coming up to be fun. Yeah, I need to fix my FPL as well. I haven't made any subs, any changes, any transfer in a minute. So I need to fix that because I need to make sure that I stay on top or close to the top. I'm getting chased down, so I just have to make sure that I'm there. But the yeah, it has been because every team is just playing like crap. Like every team is playing like crap. I got like 36 points in no 41 points last week, which is mental. But yeah, the average points was 39, so that only goes to show how bad the performance was for FPL. But outside of FPL, MLS is happening. MLS is coming down to a boil down. Vancouver Whitecaps is in the conference final, yes, against San Diego. If they beat San Diego and if Inter Miami loses, then the finals is in Vancouver, which I think everybody in Vancouver is hoping for that happens. But unfortunately, we ain't seeing, we can't see past Inter Miami winning, and then the finals is in Miami. If we are able to get past San Diego, but hopefully we get past San Diego. And if we do get past San Diego and win the conference final, then it would be our first conference final in the club history since the MLS has. Yes, Muller plays for Vancouver Whitecaps, and trust me, the instant he walked, we had a good start to the season, but the instant he walked through the door, it changes the belief of the club. Completely changes the belief of the club. We got to the CONCACAF Champions League finals for the first time in the club history that we got to the conference final. And if Whitecaps win the MLS, is the equivalent to Leicester winning the league. that's the equivalent of Whitecaps winning the MLS. Yeah, trust me, been season ticket holder for years, and never thought we never really get past the first round of playoffs, and even if we do get past the first round, we get knocked out by LAFC in the second round, which is the semifinals, which they almost did again, because we went up 2-0 up, and then Sun decided to put on a show at the end of the game, and we hopped over the line with 9 because we got a red card and one player got injured in extra time. So we finished the game with 9 and won the penalty shootout, which again, it's massive for like Vancouver. We had a sold out game though, because we have a huge Korean community in Vancouver, so they all came out to watch Sun. It was like about 57,000 in the stadium, which is a record high for a Whitecaps game. Because again, normally we get like anywhere from 18 to 20,000 watching the game, come out to support on a weekly basis. But that one was massive for that game. But yeah, we play this weekend. Let's see how that goes, which is great. Now the question I have to ask is like, Celtic, you guys hired, is it the Chicago Fire coach? Is that coach from the MLS? But it's not even like one of the good coach. It's I think it's the Chicago. Who did you guys hire the coach from? Is the Chicago Fire coach, right? Because I think that's it. Yeah, like there's so many good coaches in the MLS, and oh no, I'm trying to figure out. It's I was watching Sky Sports like about an hour ago, and they said that you guys hire a new coach. Yeah. Yes, it's the Chicago Crew. Yes, so they're called Chicago Crew now, but before they were Chicago Fire. So yes, yeah. Wow, that is a wild appointment. That is a wild appointment, because I mean, like, I would expect you guys to even get like Berhalter or one of them. Chicago finished 8th in the Eastern Conference, and the Eastern Conference is an easier conference. Trust me. When you're talking about like West versus East, East is a lot easier. The teams are not that good in the East, because most of the teams in the East, when they come to the West, they get spanked. Yeah, he finished 8th in the Eastern Conference. That's almost like hiring the Portland coach, or the, like, you guys could have hired the Philly coach. You could have hired Cincinnati coach. I mean, you could have even hired Charlotte's coach. But you hired Chicago. No, it's not Chicago coach. It's Columbus. It's a Crew coach. I mean, it's not much worse. It's not much better. They're finished 7th. So it's in the Western Conference. So it's not like it's much better than to say that which one you would hire. But yeah, that for me is an appointment out of nowhere. Like I heard it today and I'm like, what? I mean, I'm just telling you, there are so many better coaches in the MLS that you guys could have picked up on rather than what do you call it, the crew coach. So many better ones. Trying to see, because sometimes they do, like, you can get the tables merged with the East versus the East with the West and points, and like stack the points together. Yeah, no, trust me. It's the thing is, he might come and do bits. That's the thing. He might come and he might do bits. Um, he might be. He might, but I don't know. I saw it today and I'm like, really? This is who they hired. And I'm like, nah, that's a mad one. That is a mad one. So if we were doing like the two conferences merged together, he would have finished 12 in the MLS out of 30 teams. So it's 30 teams in the MLS, and he would have finished 12. That's how far down the pecking order you would go. Trust me, if you guys had waited to the end of the season and picked up like the Whitecaps coach, like that would be a way better appointment than pick up the coach from Columbus, because like before the biggest achievement was for Whitecaps was just making the playoffs. We didn't play no attractive football. All we did was park the bus, hit on counter attack, transition football. That's it. Now we outplayed Miami, Inter Miami, when they came to Whitecaps. You could have just kept Martin O'Neill for the rest of the season. You could have. There's so many what do you call it? Better coaches that you could have get. But I'm just wondering if it's the price. Is it that it's cheaper to hire him than anything else? Yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, this is where I'm gonna leave this one. I'm gonna leave this live stream here. I am gonna play the FM manager. I might do an hour in that. I wanted to do 2, but I start this one late because I had some technical difficulties. So I start this one late. So I am gonna play FM manager maybe for an hour or so. I did lose badly to Betis, and Anthony did destroy me in that game. He did destroy me in that game. So yes. So in about say 5 minutes, I'm gonna kick off that stream. So catch you over there. Peace. Again, like, share if you're watching it back on the replay, and if you're new to the channel, drop a subscribe. Trying to get to 200 subscribers. All right. Peace. Catch you on the other one.